oh my gosh, I've lost the engine in front of me, the instructor behind me. What do I do now? I'm Brian Schiff. I'd like to tell you the story about when I started college up at San Jose State, and I was wanting to go get checked out in tail draggers so I could rent them up at Reed Hillview Airport. And the namesake of the airport was actually the flight instructor who was checking me out. Amelia Reed would be checking me out in one of her Cetabrias so that I could rent them while I was attending college there. And I remember during my checkout, we were flying some pattern work and we were flying downwind, and when I was cleared to turn base, I remember pulling the power back and the engine was kind of really low RPM where you kind of think, is it going to hang on there? It's pump, 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 pump. You know, I'm like, okay, so I bumped the power up a little bit. And I remember her yelling at me, and she pulls the throttle all the way back. I remember she's in the back seat, and there's a throttle on the sidewall of the Cetabria, and I see it come all the way back, and she goes, "What do you need all that power for?" And I'm like, okay, so she clearly wants it at idle, and so it's just sputtering all the way down to final approach, and we did a touch and go, and came back around, and downwind again, and clear to land. I pull the power off, and sputtering, and all of a sudden, she's quiet, so I'm thinking it's going really well. But then the engine got equally as quiet. The prop stopped right in front of me. I'm like, holy cow, I did exactly what I thought it was going to do. The prop stopped because the idle was just way too low. And I looked at that, and I turned around to give her a big fat "I told you so." And I looked back there, and Amelia Reed, I think she was in her mid-80s at the time, I thought she had died because she was laying back there with her eyes closed and mouth open. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've lost the engine in front of me, the instructor behind me. What do I do now? So obviously I cracked the throttle, I tapped the starter motor, and it came back to life as I supposed it would, but she didn't. I came back in, landed, and turned off the runway, and after turning off the runway, she woke up and says, "What are you doing? We're not done yet." And I'm like, I guess she's alive. And I just didn't want to insult her and tell her that she'd fallen asleep. I didn't know what to do. I said, okay, so we went back flying again, and all's well that ends well, but that was a crazy time when I was flying and thought I'd lost both the instructor and the engine.